everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's Rachel here. Today I just wanted to play around with some makeup. I was thinking about playing around with like our newer stuff, and then I was like, nah, and I wanted to play with the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. So that's exactly what I did. If you're interested in seeing how I created this look, please keep on watching. Alright, so we're gonna get started. I'm kind of like sweaty because I'm in a robe, but like that's my bad. I like originally planned on this being like, you know, using some new stuff, but I really wanted to dip back into Metropolis. It's been a minute since I've used her, so you know, let's get into it. So first I'm gonna prime my eyelids. I primed them a little bit different this time because I wasn't sure what I was gonna do, but I knew it was gonna be kind of big and blown out. And I'll do my brows after this. So I'm gonna use a little bit of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. This is the best, like most matte kind of eyeshadow base you're gonna find. So I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna kind of put it everywhere. I'm gonna add it on my under eyes too, throw it to the side, up into the brow, whole nine. So I'm gonna use the Cover FX Power Play Concealer. This one's the white one. So let me give this another minute to dry down and I'll do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna use a few dots of this and blend it out. This will just make sure that, you know, when I go to do my base, I won't have nothing to blend into. So I'm just gonna use a Luxie brush. It's called a tapered high something, but there's like, I don't know, it's like color fix on the brush because I keep finding it all over me. But I'm just gonna throw this on top and kind of shear it out so it's not like, you know, completely white. But this will give me like a little bit of a canvas to work on. But just concealer doesn't work for me, so that's why I have the primer under it. Otherwise, this will be a creasy mess in 5 minutes. Okay. I think I used a little bit more concealer on the side than the side, but that's cool. Anyway, we're gonna dip into the Metropolis palette, and I'm first gonna go in with the Rephr 02 brush. It's like a flat brush, but it works phenomenally for blending. I'm gonna go in with like a mix of all three of the deepest cream to powder mattes here. They're all in the blue, teal, green category. So I'm just going in with mostly the two like more tealy ones and then a dip of the blue in the corner here, but mostly I'm going in with the two teals. And I'm gonna start on my lower lash line. And kind of bring it upward. Kind of like that new like reverse cat eye trend, but I'm not doing a cat eye. I'm just using this as like a guide for my shape. I'm gonna make sure it's nice and like opaque, basically. Because these cream to powders, they look like black in the pan, but they're not clearly. So I want to make sure I can build up the intensity, and then I'm just gonna kind of scoop it inward, and that's how I kind of created the shape. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go in and try and intensify it as much as possible so I can get some like high saturation with this color basically. So it's already pretty saturated, but I wanna make sure that especially like up here that I have a lot of saturation. Then I'm just gonna go in and blend like just a tiny little baby bit. I'm going to take a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH37 brush, and I'm going to go in with this like olivey green right here, and then a little bit of this like brown right here. So I'm going to use mostly the olive on the top and then the brown on the bottom. I learned from the last eye. And I'm going to kind of blend out the top of this a little bit. I don't know, I didn't know what I was going to go for, so I didn't know if I was going to use golds or the blue as I just added on. Shocking, you guys know me. And then on the bottom, I'm gonna add in a little bit of that brown, and then I'll go in and add it on the top. I just wanna be careful with it. Yeah, my light. And it kind of just adds enough like depth and grunginess for me. It just like adds like a little bit more to That's what I had going on. Whoa, that was a lot. Oops. Then I just took a clean fluffy brush. This one's from Profusion, I think, and just kind of went over the very top of everything to make sure it's diffused enough. Cool, then I'm gonna start with the shimmers. So, all right, anyway, I'm gonna go in with a the NYX glitter primer and this brush from Linda Hallberg that I dented on accident, so it's kind of like fucked up. There's already shimmer on this brush, so we'll probably see some of it, but I'm just gonna add this where I want to place my shimmer, just to make sure we've got like a nice opaque kind of application. And I don't want to use my fingers for something like this because, well, it's just not me. So I'm gonna cut it all the way into the end here. Well, not cut it, but like bring the glitter primer all the way into the end. Go in with this blue shade right here. I don't know why I pretend like at some point if there's a blue in a palette I won't use it. I like blue. I don't know what to say. All right, I'm literally covered in this blue fallout. It's got, oh no, the battery's dying. Fuck. Okay, we should be back in position. I don't have Vic here to focus the camera for me, so I'm like praying. Anyway, next I went in with this Essence Super Precise eyeliner. It's a little transfer-y for my liking, but it's the best compared to the NYX one, which they discontinued for one reason or another. Or they're going to be, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm gonna try and do this on camera, but I'm not great at liner. I just kind of did a like graphic liner, so I just like went around the shimmer and made a wing. So not something I do often, but I wanted to do something kind of smoky with the bleach brows. I really love like smoky looks, so I'm gonna go back in and do that. First, I'm gonna outline the blue and then I'll fill in the wing, so it'll look kind of weird at first. That was a pretty solid outline. I'm pretty proud of myself. I thought I was gonna fuck it up. Okay, so I don't think they're the exact same shapes, but we've got like the right idea. I'm gonna kind of fill this in a little bit higher at the top, I think, to match the other side a little bit better. How do I make that even? I don't know if it's possible. Okay, we're gonna try fixing the edge over here, I think. Still, no, not even a little bit close. Well, that's annoying. So I'm gonna mess with this side a little bit and do my brows, and then I'll be back for the base. I just don't know. Maybe I just need to fill in the end of the other one more. This one's just like turned more up, and this one's like a little bit more rounded, I think. But whatever, it's not the end of the world. All right, time to do the base. I'm like in between foundation shades right now, so we'll like have a great time trying to find this match. I'm pretty hyped. So I think today I'm just gonna use a little bit of my Too Faced Hangover primer because I haven't used it in a bit, and I'm trying to use a lot of the makeup that I have that's a lot older, just to kind of get it out of our collection. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This one's in Opal. It's the liquid version, of course, and I'm gonna add that onto my base as well. This is discontinued, I think. I don't think that Who took it over? I don't think that. Anyway, I don't think Smashbox is taking these over. I think that they're just doing the highlighters and the under eye corrector, but I guess I could be wrong on that thought. Just did that and added some life back to my face, gave me a glow. I'm loving it. All right, I can always use a glow. I am going to just add like a little bit of color corrector. This is actually a blush from Juicy Pang. It's like a peach shade and it's like really, really liquidy. And so it's like the perfect like quick little corrector moment because it looked scary, but it's really not. It like disappears. So I actually have been using this a lot for a corrector because I finished my Becca one. So I'm just gonna take a little brush and pat this in. And then do it on this side. So like I said, it looks scarier than it is. It doesn't really look that intense once you blend it out. It's kind of a nice peach color. So, won't complain about that. So I'll probably use the same brush for this next part. I think I'm just going to use some of Vic's Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer just because I want something a little bit lighter. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand and use this brush to apply it. This was a technique I learned from Danessa Myricks actually. This is how she does her base makeup and I don't want to get up and wet a sponge, so she just takes like a little bit on a brush, blends it in, a little bit more, blends it in. She doesn't apply it and then blend it out with the brush. And I think that's quite smart, so that's what I'm going to do. And then if I have to go in with more later, I will. But for now, I just want like some. I'm just going to take my finger and tap over it. That's all I'm going to do for concealer for now. And if I need to add more, I will. But normally, if I do something like this before, I don't end up needing it other than for like color correcting purposes. Like for, like if my foundation's too dark, I mean. So I think I'm just gonna use my Undone Beauty Conceal to Reveal palette because the shade is a good in-between shade for me. It's a little bit warm, like a little bit orangier than I would typically prefer, but if I need to adjust that, I do have my salt tints. Kind of sit up a little bit more. So I'm going to apply this with a rougher number 17 brush, or blend it out with the rougher number 17. I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of swipe some on, but this shade might actually be okay for me today, so that'll be nice. This one, this is probably even a little bit more than I should add, but I did want just like a little bit of coverage today. And I'm gonna spray my brush and my face with the Catrice Dewy Spray. Just to give something to kind of like grip to. Put my light back on. I hate this squeaky ass chair. I am just gonna take this dry sponge and hit right up on my nose area and around the mouth. I struggle to get those areas to kind of like stick properly with a brush most of the time. Whatever, I'll just do the whole thing. So I love me some brushes, but sometimes they just like don't work for me and it's kind of frustrating. So anyway, I brought that down my neck a little bit, but I think the match is actually like fine today. So that works. I really like the space. It's like a nice high light coverage, maybe. Okay, for bronzer, I'm gonna give the Tower 28 Bronzino in West Coast another try. Vic really loves this. I don't really use it. I am going to apply it with my fingers first, just because I prefer that my brushes don't get like super caked in product. So I'm gonna do that first, and then I think that I'm gonna put my hair up today, so I do actually need like something on my forehead, but this is like, it's a shimmery bronzer, so I don't know, it's nice and like glowy. I'm just gonna blend this out with the same brush. I just put like a little bit on my nose so I can add some warmth there. I think I see why Vic likes this. That looks really nice. Now that I'm not like at my deepest tan, I can kind of see what she's saying. Although I feel brush hair on my face and I can't get it off, which is really annoying. So I'm like smashing it into my face. And then we're gonna do blush, and I'm trying not to do Spice from Salt New York, but I think Spice would be pretty bomb with this look, so I think we're gonna do Spice from Salt New York. My favorite. I bought a backup actually, that's how much I love it. I haven't even hit pan yet, but I just know that like we're almost there. We have a big pan on Rose, but Rose wasn't limited edition. I don't know if Spice is limited edition for sure, because it seems to be, you know, oh yeah, I see the pan in there. It seems to be a fan favorite, so maybe they'll like keep it around, but I'm just going to pop it on right there. I kind of use like my blush as bronzer nowadays, so I don't know. I look like fucking Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Anyway, I'm gonna blend that out with the same brush. This is just the perfect blush, because it's not orange. It's not an orange blush. It's a warm blush. I don't know. So good. I love her. And this is about the time where I would typically add maybe like a little bit of concealer again or something, just to balance everything out. So I'm just going to take whatever's on the Age Rewind little squishy sponge and take my old dirty dry sponge and pop that on and kind of like gently grace the edges of the blush, just so it's not like too much. I love a heavy blush, but I've been realizing that it doesn't actually look as good as I feel like it looks when I'm loading it on. So I'm just trying to get better about that. It's driving me nuts. And then just one more time in with that brush and patting it right over here just to make sure I didn't lose that in that area. I'll just take whatever's left over and kind of hit part of my face just to make sure everything looks pretty like balanced. But I really like that. I'm gonna take another hit of this Catrice Dewy Spray. I don't really highlight nowadays, so I probably won't add anything else. Love that. I did forget for my eyes, I did add a little scoopity boopity of this shade right here. I need to do the inner corner still. I just don't think I'll be using Metropolis for that. I think for my inner corner, I'm gonna use the shade Shine from the Becca palette because it's so pretty. It's a little bit grungier, which like will work because this is pretty smoky. So I'm just gonna add like a little bit of that right there. Yeah, I know I'm not mad at that. And then I'll probably just take a little bit and hit my brow bone. It's kind of like orangey compared to the colors here, but it's pretty. So what I like to do is mascara and lips. So let me just get lips out of the way first. I'm gonna line with this BFF, what is it? I think it's 951 from ColourPop. Whoa, but it's so old that I'm not sure if that's actually the shade. I'm gonna cover this up basically. I just want outline, I think. And then we'll see if I need to like change this, but this is Propa Beauty Finesse. It's like a nice mid-toned neutral brown sometimes. Sometimes it's more warm. It just depends, I think, on what I'm wearing, like eyeshadow and blush wise. So I'm gonna do that and maybe add just a little bit of this Danessa Myricks Cannoli Color Fix. This is the Color Fix Glaze. It's super light. That's a lot more than I intended to add. And just kind of tap it on top. Still a little warmer than I would like, but we're gonna leave that for now and let me like settle on it. I'm gonna do my mascara and my hair and stuff real quick, and I'll be back just to show you what everything looks like. And then I threw my hair up, changed my shirt, living life. I added some freckles. I did change the lip color, so I ended up doing the Kylie lip liner in Bear plus the Tower 28 gloss in Oat. Because I just wasn't loving that like warm tone lip. Normally when I'm tanner, it pulls a little bit more like neutral to cool, but I'm like fairly like pale right now. And then I also added a little bit of LA Shockwave liner. This one is in Electric, so it's a nice bright blue. And then for mascara, I use my Milk Makeup Lash Primer, and then a mix of a couple mascaras. So this is the Stila Huge Extreme Lash or something like that. And then this is the L'Oreal Unlimited mascara. So I use both of those just to make sure I had like lots of, you know, mascara on. But if you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. I had some fun creating this look. I like it. It's cute and I'm loving the little pigtails with it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you in the next one. Bye.